Well, I'm glad we're all excited. Welcome back for this talk. As I like to say, John Campbell, Dr. John Campbell. If you don't follow him on YouTube, kind of funny guy. Anyways, we're welcome back for today's talk. We got a lot of stuff to cover. I hope you're finding value in these master classes. Like we've done them for, 4-5 years now, and things change. Like I mean, we have topics that come up in rotation, as you probably have noticed. Like every year and a bit, we're back to the same topic again, but the content and the recommendations is different because this crazy world of marketing, digital marketing, psychology of marketing never changes. But the crazy world of where, why, and how to market, how to get the best results, that does change. Why does that change? Because people's eyeballs move with the times. Right? So, and these times, they are a changing right now. And we are in an inflection point in human civilization, whether you realize it. A lot of people are feeling it. Some people go, it's like Y2K. It's not real. I don't know where you fit in that camp. It's real. Trust me. I run a podcast every single week as well. The AI Marketing Experts podcast on Fridays. Go look it up. We've got replays on our Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters YouTube channel, but you can also go to that channel with 4 other really bright digital marketing agency owners, business owners, who are all in this AI world with me. I've been invested in it for 2.5 years, 3 years, like deep in the trenches, and even more so. And this thing that we've created, this genie we've let out of the bottle, is changing the entire world around us. And as humans, we're not really used to things that go exponential. We're used to nice linear growth where, things take 5, 10, 20 years to develop. Hey, what about that graphene thing that was supposed to take over the world? What about this? Yeah, quietly in the background doing amazing things, but didn't have the big breakout that everybody talks about, right? So AI is having the big breakout, but quiet in the background, it is doing amazing, advanced stuff. And the next iteration, nobody knows, including Google. So what we're going to be talking about today is one of the topics that is really, really important is about your website. It's like, what's it there for? Well, how do you use it? How do you convert more people? Like we all want more customers that we can turn into long-term clients. We want the best customers. We don't want to be chasing the 3 rooms in a hall for $99 and somebody comes into your market and says, hey, let's do 3 rooms in a hall for $89, or let's do 3 rooms in a hall for $79. And next thing you know, it's a race to the bottom, and none of those guys even know that causes rusty vans and people not to be able to make rent and mortgages, not be able to grow the business, not be able to hire good technicians, all of that kind of stuff. And the very best businesses in our industry, I talk to all of them. I talk to a lot of them. I probably haven't met all of them yet, but the very best businesses in our industry that have been in business, anywhere from 5 years to 25 years, 30 years, the ones that have been out of the truck after the first year or 2, 3, have grown massive companies. Just talk to a fellow, hey, Robert, if you're on the call, remember, we want you on the podcast. But talk to a good fellow there last week, who in a town of under 500,000 people runs I think, did I get it right, Robert? $7 million cleaning empire, right? How did this happen? Well, there's no magic. There's no mystery. You are the marketer of cleaning services first. Everything else second. You have to have a marketer's mindset. You're in business to grow, stabilize, build something that you can sell, that you can semi-retire or fully retire from and still earn an income, whatever your goal is. And to do that, you have to stand out in a very, very noisy marketplace. This isn't word of mouth. Like put that away. This isn't chasing leads. Put that away. You're going to see that I deliberately tried my very best to make sure that none of the slides have the word lead on it. That you're not in the lead chasing business. You will go broke if you're in the lead chasing business. I have seen carpet cleaning companies and small businesses, service businesses, home-based businesses, whatever. I've seen them get as high as $20,000 and $30,000 a month on a new leads tactic, a new advertising channel. Think Facebook 4 or 5 years ago. Who are now broke because they didn't ever build a business. They thought the business they were in was chasing leads and then going out and doing cleaning or hiring technicians to do cleaning. And this is just easy. I just need to chase leads. And to do that, they had to discount their prices. Like Groupon, I watched how many businesses go broke using Groupon, right? Because it got them too much work. And they went broke because that wasn't the quality work, that people weren't going to come back again. You didn't build a business. You didn't build a legacy. You didn't build lifetime value clients. You didn't have an average job that's $500, $600, $700, $800. Your average job is $200, $220, $180. You cannot build a long-term business on that. You cannot get out of the truck on that very easily at all, right? What you need to be doing is finding the very best people that have money, not the middle class and lower that are running out of money, that are watching, interest rates and inflation eat everything up, all of the discretionary income up. Their wages are not increasing as fast as costs of stuff are increasing. You need to be targeting the wealthy people, upper middle class and upper class, the golf course road, 3, 4, 5,000 square foot homes, or whatever that looks like in your area, condos full of, that 55 to 65 crowd, that empty nesters that are living in nice places, right? Targeting those people because they got wealthier. The stock market's at an all-time high. Crypto's at an all-time high. We get our little fluctuations, but the people with money are making money hand over fist right now. So, and they have been for a while. And they would be the ones left with money for our home services properly. And you need to know how to target those people and what they look for and how they think, right? So my little rant, get off my podium for today. I'll talk all about this, but I just wanted to let you know where we're heading with this conversation.
Welcome to the Carpet Cleaner Success Podcast, a show created to inspire carpet cleaning business owners to build their own thriving residential and commercial cleaning business. Your host, John Clendenning, has built and sold successful cleaning businesses for multiple six figures over his 30-year career and is the founder of Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, a digital agency that turns your online marketing into a lead generation machine. Tune in as John shares proven tips, strategies, and expert interviews to help fast-track your success in the carpet cleaning industry.
So here I am, top corner. We are going to be talking about carpet cleaner websites that sell more, proven conversion, and AI-ready strategies. AI-ready strategies. What does that even mean? Why do we need to be AI-ready? What does AI-ready do? So we'll talk about this kind of stuff because it's getting interesting but scary. So turn your cell phones off, turn Facebook off, and TikTok and all that stuff. If you're in a cleaning or home service business owner and you're serious about getting results from your marketing budget, then the next 60 to 75 minutes is going to be one of those moments that you need to lean in. You need to take notes. You need to think about. You need to ponder this evening. You need to plan. What are you doing? You are the strategist of your company. How are you going to do this better than your competitors? How are you going to stand out instead of, in a very, very noisy marketplace? Because cleaning services, carpet cleaning, easy barrier of entry. So a lot of competitors and a lot of sort of mixed message marketing going on and stuff like that. We're going to make sure that you understand how to tie it all together. Our approach at the agency that we run, Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters, is integrative omnipresence marketing. It's the only way to market a business is you integrate everything together. Everything you do affects everything else. You watch these numbers, but it also lifts this, like rising tide lifts all ships. So we're gonna deal with that. So how are we gonna talk about this today? How are we gonna deal with this subject? Well, the new role of your website in the AI age. I'm gonna give you some shockingly disturbing stats. The new role of your website in the AI age. If you've got a marketing vendor, take notes like crazy. You are going to grill the crap out of them the next time you talk to them. If you don't have a marketing vendor helping you with your website, tying it together to your social media, tying it together to your Google Maps, tying it together to your online and offline marketing, tying it together to your lead nurture process, and your client retention and your scripting and your speed to lead and all of those things. If you don't have somebody doing all of those in a very thoughtful, integrated way, you're going to be left behind. And I don't know how else to say that. You're running a bit of a hobby business and you might have gotten lucky for a while, but I think you can start feeling the edges shrinking, the things falling off. You understand there's a lot more you need to do in a lot of cases. Maybe not you, Robert, if you're on the call. You got a lot of things on the go that are really good. And we had an amazing conversation because of that, because you're a marketer first. So how you think about every aspect of your business, how does that look to the public? How is that converting more people to using us for more money than the competitors? How do we get this person back more often? And how do we hire the best technicians? All of it's marketing related. So we're going to be talking about conversion science, doubling inquiries without doubling traffic. How do you get more people to reach out to you in the exact same spend you have right now? We'll talk about why that's important. And in fact, that's critical. We're going to talk about building trust that both AI and humans can see. AI is watching you. So you got to feed it the right stuff, right? AI versus humans, what really converts? So we got a lot of really, really deep stuff to get into. So who am I? Why do you even care? If you're new to this, so I've been in the industry for over 30 years, started as a snot-nosed kid, shy, didn't know what I was doing, grew multi-million dollar businesses, starting in a town of 30,000 people. So, right, this can be done. I was doing $10,000 a month in carpet cleaning sales by my first full year in business in 1995 into 1996, because I didn't know what I was doing. I realized it wasn't going to just come out of the woodwork, and I put in the right systems in place and started learning new things. Just a kid, didn't know, learned some things, tried it out, learned some things, tried it out. This wasn't about writing better ads. So anybody knows the story. There is an actual design and a process to this. By 2007, I'd already spoken on a few stages, still running my businesses, started teaching this, right? So started consulting while running my business and helped other cleaners in our niche stabilize and grow to 7 figures or high 6 figures, wherever they wanted to go, and simplify the business a lot more, understand all the little moving parts and simplify that, right? So I've lectured on this, I've talked on this, I've been flown around the world, I've written scripts and neurolinguistic programming stuff I had to learn to be a carpet cleaner and convert more people and solve problems. I also got hired to do Chamber of Commerce locally, island of Samoa for 3-day elite retreats, and Chilliwack, BC's, and Vegas and Orlando's and around the world and stuff like that. I wrote the book on it. As you can see, you can get it on Amazon and stuff like that. And then I've sold all my businesses to go all in on this. So 2019, end of 2019, I kind of formalized Carpet Cleaner Marketing Masters from a bunch of different digital marketing I was doing for chamber members and friends and different things like that. And then I, in the middle of COVID, finally sold the last of my businesses, cleaning service businesses. And we've continuously growing, continuously building the team out, continuously doing best in class marketing for the cleaning industry. So that's what we do. A little bit about that as well. I've obviously become a voice of Clean Facts magazine, was the guy that subscribed to it for decades. Now on the front cover, stuff like that. Work with Jeff Cross on every single month. You'll see me on Take 5 or Ask the Expert or any of the behind the scenes stuff, articles written in Clean Facts, all that kind of thing. Speak on stages with some of the big heavy hitters that we all know and that kind of thing. More importantly, we also help our clients with all the stuff I'm going to be teaching you here. We help our clients know what their role is, what our role is, or your marketing company, because we want you to grow like crazy. And we want you to stabilize your business. Here, let's show Kevin. There's Kevin's face. I was in the way of Kevin. Anyways, we want to stabilize business because business is changing. And there's huge threats out there. Remember the SWOT analysis. If you're running a business, you might have had a consultant at some point. If not, you should at least be doing this. Strength, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats. Every quarter, what are the strengths, weaknesses, opportunity, and threats in all areas of your business? Sit down, think it out, plan it out, right? Solve those problems. Because what we like to do is make our clients the top brand. Brand's going to become a very important word throughout the rest of this and the rest of your business career. Brand changes everything, and it's even more important today than it's ever been before. But the top brand in the local marketplace. So you attract the very best clients because they got money. You can charge the top rates because they got money. And you're booked out weeks in advance because they don't care. They got money. You're going to show up, right? There's some marketing you can do from the moment somebody books to the moment you show up. Shouldn't be this afternoon, shouldn't be tomorrow. You shouldn't like not necessarily have openings like that unless maybe you're running 10, 11 vans on the road and you got two guys in a van together and one of them can peel off and do a job. Again, in an ideal world, that maybe, but if you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 vans on the road, you're probably booking out a week, 3, 4 days to a week. You want to be. And your best clients are going, that's fine. Yep, I understand that. I don't need you in an emergency. You've got emergency spots in the evening and you charge an extra 20, 30%. You give all of that to the technician as a, after hours fee. So he's willing to do it, right? The customer has a 20% surcharge and that goes fully to the technician, right? Something like that. On top of whatever their commission or hourly plus commission, however you pay them, they should be getting a bonus, not just a fraction of the bonus. I gave the guys the whole thing, right? I didn't need that extra job. I just needed the guys to go do it. Like I didn't need to know that we went and did another $200, $300, $400 worth of cleaning tonight because they came home and their dog had crapped all over, got into the crayons and crapped over the carpet, right? And they needed emergency service. I just needed to know that somebody go out and do it on the team. So I gave them, if that's $400 and it's 20%, they're going to get an extra $80 for that 1 hour, 2 hours worth of cleaning on top of their regular pay, right? So you want to be booked out weeks in advance with the best clients. How do we do that? Right? That's that integrative omnipresence marketing system. It's got to be a system. Everything's got to be a system. Everything's got to run strategically, that if something needs to be fixed, you go back and fix the system because the system runs every single time. If you're relying on people and somebody doesn't do their job, but you have a system, now you have something to have a conversation with them about, maybe move them out if they still can't run the system. They can't follow the rules, but you have to have the rules. If you're winging it all the time, you are running the same year messy over and over and over again. You never did grow the business. Your job is to grow systems in the company. So an omnipresence marketing system is part of that, right? So you want to maximize your opportunities to generate a qualified inquiry. Who is your ideal customer avatar? You probably should have 2 or 3. Who is your ideal customer avatar? What keeps them up at night? What are they looking for in a service provider? How do you speak to them in their language? We're going to talk a little bit about this today. We've talked about that a lot in a lot of different trainings because it's core to everything you do. If you don't, well, I'm willing to take any job I get. Okay, any job means you don't stand out with anybody. If you know who you want as an ideal customer, maybe you've got 2 or 3 of these avatars, the ideal residential customer, the ideal commercial customer. Maybe you have an ideal customer that is that, 35 to 55 age range. Maybe you've got an ideal customer that is the 55 to 65 kind of range. And they're in different places. They look at different things. You talk to them. So one's active family, raising a family. The other one's post-family, right? Maybe understand the nuances of those people. So you want to maximize your opportunities to generate a qualified lead. You want to maximize your brand impressions. There's that word again, brand. We all know the word brand, but why is brand so freaking important? Well, brand has become so important because AI and Google and all the algorithms and humans care about knowing a brand, putting trust in a brand, and connecting that to the people, the authority who built that. That's the connection. You can't just go, oh, I don't want anybody to know my name. I want to hide behind, babies lying on carpets and families and dogs sitting on couches on my website. Don't want to be known by anybody. Go get a job somewhere else. You're running a business. There has to be a face and somebody they can trust. Why did you even start this business? It's part of the core foundation of running a business. You need to have your compelling sales proposition. Why you over anybody else? We work with this with all our clients. You want to have a risk reversal guarantee. I get beat up on that all the time. You have to have a guarantee that is so strong and so scary that it actually keeps you awake at night and your competitors are laughing at you. If that's the case, at least, wake at night for the first while when you release it until you realize, holy shit, that just gets me more customers and doesn't cause a problem because I do run a good business, right? You need to have a founder story. Why should people care about you to trust you? Why? Nobody trusts machines and, I've got the, SX57, I've got the Butler, blah, blah, blah. They don't care. The customers don't care. What they care about is are you an authentic, real person? Did you have a daughter with asthma, or came from this place and that place, and that's why you started this business? Like, what is the founder story? And then what is your impactful brand messaging? How do you tie all that together into a brand message? So you want to be having brand impressions, because Google's ZMOT, zero moment of truth, from almost a decade ago now, stated that you needed 11 impressions in front of somebody before they grabbed the box off the shelf or picked up the phone and called the carpet cleaner. 11. They're now saying that's over 20. Like, I've heard numbers between 20 and 30. Like, holy shit. Seriously. You need to be out there in front all the time, because people are just more skeptical. And they've also got more ways to get answers than ever before. So we're going to talk about that as well. So you want your brand impression, maximize that. And here's today's topic. We want to maximize conversions, because you could bring, you could get, let's dumb it down to 10 inquiries in a day, as an example. And if you can maximize conversions, you might turn 7 of those into customers in a bunch of different ways. Some of them right away, some of them go do a quote and follow up, some of them down the road because they tried somebody else and realized that other guy's a loser and they're going to try you next time because you stayed in touch. Million ways to deal with conversions. But everything I just said there is a business system you have to have in place. So you got to build them, right? So you maximize conversions. 7 out of 10, your average job is $500. You made $3,500 for those 10 inquiries over the next period of time. $3,500 in inbound growth. And then the lifetime value of those should be 10, 20, 30,000, or George, if you're on the call, $200,000 for a residential customer in the lifetime of the customer. Like, come on, for real. So let's call it 10. Let's dumb it right down. The best customers should be handing you $10,000 worth of repeat and referral business over their life once you lock them down, right? So if you just made 7 new customers today, because you can convert 7 out of 10 because you have conversion systems in place and you track that, think of that as $70,000 minimum to $140,000, somewhere in that range, to the lifetime value of your business. Or, we booked 2 of them. Some of them are text messages we'll get back. Some are emails. Some, we got 2. Our average job's $200. So we made $400 today. Probably won't follow up with them like every week, every 2 weeks, every month. Not a couple times a year, like consistently with value. We talk about that in other trainings as well, right? Now you're going to maximize your conversions at every touch point. Maximize your sales in the house, get more money from them happily and ethically because you have offers and upsells, not downsells and deals, offers and upsells, right? And packages and all that kind of stuff. Maximize your conversions, maximize your retentions, all that kind of stuff. And you are growing a massive business with a huge asset value in the marketplace that you can sell for tons and tons of money. Way more than any carpet cleaner would consider selling their business for. Most carpet cleaners sell their business for the value of the truck mount. I strongly suggest the value of your truck mount should be 0. And then now what's your business worth? Is it still worth $500,000, $1 million? Prove it, right? So what's the problem here? It's a big investment to market, right? You should be investing in marketing. It's not an expense. It's not, I wish I didn't have to market. What about all those people that never market their business and they grow? They don't exist. They lied to you. There is nobody that's so amazing that everybody just has to talk about them. You might have the world's most amazing insurance agent. Do you talk about them to everybody? Right? You might have the world's most amazing plumber. Do you talk to everybody about it? If you're really crazy talkative, maybe you could say, maybe I do a little bit. How many people did you talk to still? Think of all the friends and family you know that have never mentioned anybody that they've gotten service by or go to unless you brought it up in conversation. It's like rare, right? Think of how rare that is. And if that is, unless they've got a problem, hey, my hairdresser sucks, I need a new one. Oh, well, my gal's pretty good. And you might have that conversation, but it got brought up because of that, right? Not a lot of people go, my carpet cleaner sucks. My upholstery cleaner sucks. They don't talk about it. So anybody who tells you that they've built their business 100% on word of mouth without any sort of marketing investment, and there's everything that a customer sees, anything that the public sees about your brand and your business is marketing. So they didn't wrap their van. They didn't do yard signs and door hangers and didn't wear uniforms and didn't, email and mail and talk to their customers and reach out to real estate agents and take them out for lunch and all the things on top of good digital marketing, build a website, do social media, all that stuff, right? Market is investment. You should be investing about 20% of revenue back into your marketing if you want to grow. 15% if you want to kind of tread water, stay stable. 10% if you don't give a crap where you go in your business. So about 20% of revenue is a good level there. If you're doing 200,000 a year, that's 40 grand. If you're doing $1 million a year, that's 200 grand. When we were doing 1.4 million, yeah, we were spending about 28 grand. Or so 280 grand on marketing. Why? Because that helped us grow to that level. We've got a lot of things we can do with that 20% because it's such a bigger number now. So now we can do a whole bunch of things. But there's a formula for this. There's a blueprint for this, right? So marketing is a big investment. Traffic, but not enough inquiries. Are you noticing that you're getting traffic? You might actually even notice that traffic's down. And that's a function of AI. So we actually just are sending out an announcement to our clients about Google Search Console and traffic numbers and stuff like that. Google's wrestling with this, but I'm going to give you a little bit of insight on this as we go as well, because it's a huge opportunity, right? So you might be getting visitors to your website, but not enough inquiries because they're not seeing what they need to see. They're not being influenced by the things they need to be influenced by to decide to connect with you. So therefore your return on investment sucks, right? Part of your marketing investment, 10%, 15% should be towards brand awareness. Just have everybody know your brand, your ideal target market. The rest of it should be pretty strategically tied together, right? Brand awareness is tied part of it, and you should do about 30% offline, 70% online, somewhere in that range. There's slight nuances and differences. That's part of the consulting we do, but you want to be able to figure out how you're marketing database, how you're marketing referrals, how you're marketing referral partners, how you're marketing the community, how you're marketing online where people are looking, offline to build awareness, all that stuff, right? So fail, don't generate enough leads for the investment, therefore you can't grow, right? And there's the word leads I didn't find. I probably should put a strike through it and put inquiries. You're not generating enough inquiries, qualified inquiries to grow. Problem is that's what it feels like the problem is. And I'm going to tell you that is not the problem, right? You want to future-proof your cleaning business in the AI age. What's the opportunity? You have a great website because it's the hub of your marketing. It still is and still will be. I'll show you, even if less people go to it, it's still a massive hub in your marketing because you want to build to train AI. We're going to talk about that. Your website is now a training center. Your pay-per-click ads starting in a month or two are now a training center for AI. Pay-per-click, Google's AI. Your website, Google, ChatGPT, everything, right? So your great website built to train AI and convert real humans, right? So I hope you like our new character here. We haven't given him a name. If you guys want to put in the comments wherever you're watching this or listening to this, what our little AI bot should, robot guy should get a name. Haven't really figured him out. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, maybe it's Carpet Cleaner Mikey. I don't know, for Marketing Masters. Anyways, we'll figure it out. From static pages to smart adaptive experiences. So how can AI help? AI can transform websites from being digital brochures into intelligent platforms. You can personalize content that's coming down the pike. One way you can personalize it right now is a lot of those opt-in forms and chat widgets that we're going to talk about. We can cookie, and as long as somebody's not flushing their cookies, which most people don't know how to do that anyways. Hey, welcome back, Sally. Right? Sometimes even know their name, especially if they've ever opted in. Now we do know them, but even if they didn't opt in, we can still say welcome back because we know it's the same person, right? Things like that, but we can personalize stuff. We can personalize other pieces of content as well. There's websites are getting more and more dynamic. Our team is looking into other ways where when somebody comes back or came from a certain search, can we adjust the experience? That happens called dynamic paging. That can happen with AI and stuff on pay-per-click landing pages for sure, but starting to become something where Some of the, like even websites can change around that as well. But you definitely want to have the ability for somebody to chat. We're going to talk really deeply about that as well. Some predictive searching. Hey, you might be interested in this. You might be interested in that. And then real-time customer support as well, using AI and a history, a client history and database and things like that. AI-driven conversion optimization. You can use AI tools nowadays. We do to analyze website behavior. AI is really great at taking a bunch of data and spitting out some really cool information that you wouldn't have thought of, right? I move myself right out of the way a little bit. Let's look at our guy's face. Anyways, right? So you can use it to help test and improve. Here's an example. What if you took the last 6 months of phone calls and conversations? That's one set of data, like recorded, the transcripts of phone calls and conversations from interested prospects. What if you also had technicians wear a little dongle, one brand's called Limitless, where every conversation they're having in the field is recorded collected into an AI. They can turn it on and off, but maybe that, but what I'm getting is, what if you have all of that information on your customer's actual real sentiment, and then you analyze your website, and you still need an SEO person to understand AI, SEO, rankings, all that kind of stuff. But what if you ran your website, your landing page content, so the key pages, what called pillar pages on your website, through against that with AI and said, hey, how could I optimize this content to be more specific to what our audience is looking for? Our ideal customer avatar. Here's our ideal customer avatar. Here's our brand definers. Here's our unique sales property. Here's a whole sort of master prompt on our company. Really good. We call it an AI command center. We build one for all of our clients. And then can we take that plus all of these conversations, take a look at the content and make the content, especially above the fold, maybe, and the first scroll down, be right on point to what the customer wants. Kind of interesting, right? So predictive analytics for identifying high valued leads that boost ROI. Website is the hub for AI powered marketing ecosystem. So how does a website integrate with AI powered SEO, ads, and your CRM system? Turn your website into a data rich engine that fuels smarter decisions. There are tools. One of our advanced strategies is using in-market data. We actually take, when visitors come to your landing pages, and they might even just go to Google and search and not find you because they found somebody else or whatever, but inside your geo-fenced area, it could be your city, could be a neighborhood, could be whatever, or if they come to your website or your pay-per-click landing pages or anything like that, and they don't fill out a form, yeah, we always could cookie them and chase them around with little ads. But more advanced now, we can actually run them through databases and find out their address and send them a postcard, their names, where they work, their income levels, all kinds of scary data, and be able to actually use some advanced AI techniques to actually talk to them as well, send them an email, things like that, even if they didn't fill anything out. So our world of marketing is becoming very, very strategic as well. So conversion sciences is all about doubling inquiries without doubling traffic, right? So psychology of conversion, why people click, call, and submit forms. Do you know why they're clicking? Your ideal customer? Because if you know why they click, call, submit forms, do what they do, you can dial that in better. And AI can really help figure that out as well for you. Using trust signals, reviews, guarantees, social proof to reduce hesitation. So we are tribal creatures, right? We like to not be the first. Not a lot of us are pioneers. We like to fall in line, in herd, right? We've seen that in our world a lot lately. We like to fall into camps and fall into herds and stuff like that. So if you're like, hey, let me show you why 8 out of 10 residents of Wichita, Kansas use our cleaning services over anybody else's. Oh, really? How do you prove that? Here, let me prove that. Oh my God. Yeah, let me figure that out. And a price is higher than the competition. Wow. Now you've got deep psychology going, right? So social proof, you're going to tell stories. You're going to have guarantees, risk reversal guarantees. You're going to have testimonials and reviews. You're going to have emotional triggers. to move a visitor from browsing to acting. We're going to talk about all these emotional triggers as well. How do we get somebody who looks at your page and goes, no, it's like a brochure, to, holy crap, I need these guys in my life? The difference is what's on the page, not the fact that you had a page. It's the fact that what you put on the page. So are you thinking through that strategically? You want to optimize your website funnels as well. So how to fix leaks. Do you know when somebody comes in, how many people that show up on your website, how long they stay, how many pages they click through, what they do next, and of the ones that then reach out, are you giving them enough reach out mechanisms? I only want people to self-book. I only want people to call me. Everything else pisses me off. Okay. That seems like a weird business decision, because what if some people want to chat or fill out a form? That's what they want to do. And if you force them to call you, they just go to somebody else's website, somebody else's business, and you never see them again for the rest of your life. And there goes that $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 worth of lifetime value client. The other guy does a good job, you should never see them again. They should never have to reach out. If you do a good job, you should have these customers for 10, 20 years. You'd be cleaning their kids' carpets when they grow up and start getting married and have kids. That's what our business was all about. So 50, 60, 70% in any given week, any given month should be repeat clients after year 2. Is your business set up to do that? Are you tracking that? Do you know how to do that? We can help. We can consult on that. That's what I do all day long. So you want to simplify call to actions and make it impossible to miss those. You want to use AI-powered optimization to identify the best performing pages and elements and tweak things and dial things in. AI-enhanced personalization. You want to tailor the visitor's journey. Again, so you can do things like dynamic headlines, especially on landing pages and stuff like that. Offers. We're going to talk about chatbots, the right way and the wrong way to do them. Predictive insights, knowing what visitors want before they act. There's lots of things that you can do in this world where you can tap into the knowledge and just the speed of AI, right? So momentum and consistent growth. Success is phone ringing, new inquiries coming to you regularly, and business is booming. That is what success looks like. And your website's going to be the hub of all that. So why is getting your website built to convert important to you? This is why conversions is so important. I just want to make sure that we dial this in, knock it out of the park, so you understand from this point forward, the next 20, 30, 35 minutes, you're going to really understand why this is actually mission critical to your business. Scenario number 1, say you got 1,500 visitors a month to your website. That's a big market. Average is about 400 or 500. If you're getting 10 or 20, like the businesses I look at every single day who reach out to us, you got a big problem. There's a lot of work needed because your website and your organic rankings in maps and in search and organic should be the biggest driver of your business. AI search now, the biggest driver of your business, not paid ads. Paid ads are a complement. Anything that you do like that is a complement. Investing in the asset value of your company, which is your Google listing, right? You don't pay to get a Google listing. You have to put work into it. You might pay somebody to help you post to it a couple times, once, twice a day, set it all up, optimize it, link to, create citations, create directory listings, create things that help it rank higher than the competitor for more and more services in a wider and wider radius. It's not just, I rank number 1 in Google Maps. Yeah, on your phone, maybe. Go 10 miles away and a friend who's never looked up your business and ask them to look for 20, 30 different terms people might use to find cleaning companies. Then get them to ask in ChatGPT and see what happens, right? So 1,500 visitors a month. Say you convert 5 of those website visitors to customers, to inquiries. Sorry. Now you got 75 inquiries. Not a bad website, actually, right? I'll tell you why 5% actually seems like it's higher than the norm. You convert 30% of those into jobs. You landed 22 new customers. You go, look, my website's working. You probably didn't know that you had 1,500, 500, whatever. You don't even know the conversion to inquiries. You're not tracking this. You should. At least your marketing agency should and be reporting this to you and telling you why it's important. 30% conversion, that's actually low. On new cold traffic, you should be much higher than that with good scripts at prices twice your competition. But you booked 22 jobs. Your average job is $325. you made $7,100 from your website, right? And actually, we've got an extra zero there. Sarika, we'll double check these things. She helped me with the slides. We got an extra zero, but $7,100 is what we got from this scenario. Scenario number 2, same 1,500 visitors. Now we're able to convert 15% of them. Better stuff on the page, better follow-up, better chase. We're going to talk about all that, better psychology. Now we got 225 inquiries, not 75. That's the difference. We just have better conversion. More people reached out. You did nothing else. You just created a better page and better systems. Still 30% conversion. You still stuck on the phones. 67 bookings. Still $325 average transaction. You now made $21,000. You tripled the amount of money you made from your website this month. And again, I don't even care about this month. That $21,000 that you did in that month, maybe 1,500 visitors, 3 months to you. That $21,000 extra that you did locked in at least half of those people. If you do any good at all, half of them done well. Deliver an amazing client experience, do great follow-up. If there's any complaints at all, you have a full recipe for recovery in place. That's part of our Blueprint for Success coaching program. You do all of that kind of stuff, and you've got $20,000, $10,000, $20,000 lifetime value of those people. So now 67 jobs turns into 30 or 40 lifetime customers. Let's call it 35, right? So 35 lifetime customers, $10,000 each. $350,000 you just added to the lifetime value of your business that month alone. The next month, another $350,000 to the lifetime value of your business if you've got all your marketing right. But you lose all of that if your conversions aren't even collecting these people and they go to somebody else and somebody else is getting them. It doesn't mean that they go, oh, I'm not going to get my garbage clean because this guy has a terrible website, right? Doesn't know how to convert me. No, they just go somewhere else and get converted, and you will never see them again if they do a good job, right? So you want to make sure that you know that what your ratio are. You want to make sure your website performance is being tracked, and you know what's bringing people to it and how they're reacting and interacting on that website. How can you get your website to convert like that? What are the changes? What are the things you need to do? Right? We talk about this a lot on a lot of our trainings, but you need to be speaking to your avatar, right, to maximize your conversions. There is a layout, there is a look for humans, there is a coding and stuff for AI, and we'll talk about the difference between those two. But you want to speak to your target avatar in a very personal way. You want to have real, authentic images, not a single stock photography. A picture says 1,000 words. A stock photography picture says, like, of the baby lying on the carpet, the man with the wand, all the ones we all know, right? The ones that if you stole from and didn't pay for them, Getty Images is chasing you saying that you owe them money because you borrowed or stole one of their pictures, right? Never need to do that. Real, authentic pictures. What does it look like to have you in the house? Every single service. What does it look like to have your services done, right? Show case studies, all that. You want to include video, right? Hey, Robert, talking to you again. Well done, buddy. Like, you got videos on pages, you got videos on landing pages, you got videos on service inquiry pages and things like that. Well done. You are telling your story in video, and people will watch that. If it's a good short, 30-second, 60-second, 90-second video, and you can get your story out about that. Hey, I'm John here. Thanks for popping by our carpet cleaning page. Let me tell you about our cleaning process and why it's different. Right? Things like that. You're going to get attention. You're going to get people sticking longer. You're going to get better rankings because the longer somebody sticks, that's also a ranking factor, but you're going to get more conversions, and you're going to start having people understand you. You're going to have people feel like they know you. You're going to kind of create a little bit of a celebrity effect, right? So you want to showcase your online reviews, but you also want to showcase your feedback from customers. You don't want to rely on online reviews. We're not going to be chasing reviews. Go back to last month's masterclass if you understand the difference between reputation and reviews. Anybody who's just chasing reviews has missed the boat on what you're actually supposed to do with happy customers, and what you're supposed to do with sad customers, and what you're supposed to do with everybody in between, right? So you want to take action. Easy. Make it easy. Take action. So as somebody scrolls down your page, treat them as Dory from Finding Nemo. They forgot everything again. Show them, oh, by the way, here's what you want to do next. Scroll a little bit more. Oh, here's what you want to do next. You might have forgotten already, right? Assume they forgot, right? Make it easy to take action. You want the basics in order. People are looking for certain things. Like the old days, a yellow page used to have the Z pattern you had to figure out, right? up across the top. That's where your headline went, not the name of your business. They don't care about you yet, right? Done well, a Yellow Page ad. I used to make Yellow Page ads 10x the response rate. That was one of the first services I did in the mid 2000s. I figured out how to do better Yellow Pages with better psychology, reading books about NLP and psychology and marketing, and just studying the craft of running a carpet cleaning business from a marketer's perspective. Made better Yellow Pages and had friends go, dude, can you rewrite my Yellow Page? Became the first thing I ever sold outside of carpet cleaning in that time was how to write better Yellow Pages. I just wrote them for them. And all of a sudden I had people call me and say, can you turn that off? Like, can you dial this down? And I know it's a Yellow Page. It's going to be out for the next, year. Oh, crap. Too busy. I'm going to have to learn how to hire people, right? Done well. That used to be a Z pattern. Well, now the basics on a website have a pattern as well. So do you know what that is, right? Because it's really important that you do. You want to have lots of calls to action. You want to have offers that engage. So not discounts. We're not saying you have to give discounts. Offers, new client offers, free room with any minimum jobs, like value added, well done offers. You want to have chat to text. You want to be able to get their cell phone, have like meaningful chats, get their contact information. And you want to leverage automation for all of this, right? To optimize a website for maximum conversions and lead flow. There's 11 critical elements. We're going to rattle through these fairly quickly, right? You want to speak to your ideal customer avatar. We talked about that. What is their demographic, age, sex, household income? What is their fears and frustrations? Why should they choose you? You got to know that because you got to answer that. You got to talk to them on the pages, right? Hey, you might have found this situation before. Hey, I'll show you some of those examples, but you want to make sure, are you busy, stressed out, running the kids to dance and soccer after a hard day, work at the office or running your business? Why? Because our best customers work outside of the home, running their own business or working in corporate. 35 to 55-year-old college university educated, 80% skewed towards women. Did you know that? Hopefully you did if you've been on these webinars, but that's who you're talking to. So talk to them. Build authenticity builds trust. So use authentic images. Stock photos cause people to leave. Who are you? Who's your team? What does it look like? What's the van going to look like when it shows up? What is it going to look like in the house when you're doing the cleaning? What kind of houses do you clean? If you've got your whole website showing, absolutely black, disgusting carpets turning clean, is that the customer you want? Because somebody on Golf Course Road with off-white carpets and off-white upholstery and off-white dog and, off-white tile wearing off-white pants when they answer the door does not have pitch black carpet in a rental that needs flushed and cleaned and CRB'd and power headed and RX20'd and doesn't need any of that. But they'll pay more for 1, 2, 3 cleanings a year to keep it up and protected and sanitized and deodorized and all that stuff, right? So does your images show the ideal customer you want to work in? Or does your images show, I need to show really good before and afters? None of your customers have that look. And do you want to clean that many dirty carpets, right? I got into the business of cleaning clean carpets. As you upscale your clientele, you're in the business of cleaning clean carpets more often than the people that have dirty carpets that it's begrudgingly want to clean it. The people who have clean carpets are maintaining. Entirely different crap. You want to engage with dynamic content. Website welcome videos for each of your services, video explaining why somebody should contact you versus the competition, video. The more videos you have, the better. You want to amplify social proof. Showcase your top reviews, your top feedback, your top testimonials. Like, make sure you have guarantees everywhere. Use AI to surface the most persuasive proof to visit, based on a visitor's profile. So there is advanced tactics happening to websites coming slowly right now, but still, where if in real time we know who that person is, things could be brought up in front of them using AI that speaks just to them. So that's starting to come down the pike as well, just so you know, slowly, and they're more advanced tools, and it's a little bit, messy right now, but it is the next generation where as we land on websites and as we look for content, we'll talk about that as well. And don't even go to websites. The content is geared towards us specifically. You want to streamline the essentials, ensure the phone forms. You want to have forms. Not at the bottom of the page. They're not going to make it there. Understand that people don't scroll 3, 4, 5 times down your page. They don't. Go to your social media. You can run the exact same social media posts on your social media platform. Well, you could do it every 3 months, every 6 months to a year. You could recycle everything. Nobody's scrolling that far. They're not even going to your image gallery and going, oh, look, I've seen that picture before. Post every day, repost the same stuff, spin it, curate it, add your new stuff, but keep the content coming out in there, because again, most people don't scroll. You're not that important to them, right? So you want to ensure that you have the stuff in the right spot at the top of the page, telling the right story. AI-driven chat, instant scheduling. And there's a nuance around that. We're going to talk about the difference between self-scheduling and collecting the information the right way and moving people through the right path, right? Because one will actually destroy your business. Oh, I don't want to take any phone call. I just want people to book themselves in. Okay, but why should they choose you? And why should they choose you at 2 or 3 times the price of the competitors? Oh, I'm discount. Yeah, that's the problem. 2 to 3 times the price. You have to be able to explain to the customer, educate the customer why that's a value to them. You're not just robbing them of money, and they got to understand that, right? Smart calls to action, context-aware calls to action that adjust based on the visitor's journey, things like that. Special offers that match the services they're in need of. Make sure your website is mobilely optimized, mobile first. Functionality, speedy conversions. So faster the site loads, the more information you give it. And also it assists, AI assisted performance monitoring really helps with that as well. And also AI tracks a bit of that as part of their use cases as well, right? So, and then 10, leverage AI and human chat. We'll talk about that in a second. And chat to text, even better. Make sure you're capturing their cell number so that you're not chatting on an app inside your website they have to stay on. You're giving them an ability to walk away and just be texting on their normal text app, right? That's a better advanced way of having conversations. Use marketing automation to engage with smart forms. As soon as they fill out a form, a chat starts, a phone rings, all kinds of stuff like AI gets involved, real humans get involved, lead nurture and forever follow-ups, so that based on how they came in and how they interact, are you segmenting them in a really neat way. AI can really help with that nowadays as well in marketing automation. So we want to do all that. So this one element will have the biggest impact on the results of your overall marketing efforts. What is that one element? Website optimization, right? It is going to have massive effects, especially now that AI is changing everything and less people are coming to your website. And I dare say that's a good thing. Your website has to be way better. You have to put more attention to it than ever before. Your brand is more important than ever before, but less people are going to make it to your website, and that's not a problem, right? So again, if you can see Joe Jones through Joe Jones' eyes, and you can sell what Joe Jones buys, right? So who's your customer? That's the avatar thing, right? So won't spend a lot of time on this. We've done this at our annual planning workshops and the recap in the middle of the year and stuff like that. But you want to know who's your ideal demographic, right? What's their household income? What's, how many have pets? What do they take pride in? What are they all about? What are their fears, pains, and frustrations? And they can't get somebody on the phone. There are some people nowadays that don't like AI conversations. Are you managing both sides of that scenario, right? They need to get their carpets cleaned. Obviously, that's a pain and frustration. But they're too busy to deal with it. They want to know that they're picking the right person. And then from that point forward, they just have to reschedule with you, making it easy, right? So they don't want to be ripped off. They feel like they want to know if they're overpaying or underpaying. Price is a big part of people's thought. In fact, cost, objections, comparisons, reputation, customer sentiment, so reviews, testimonials, things like that, and understanding what the best is. How do they determine what best is? Those are all the main pillars of content, the 5 pillars of content, right? So you want to have, they want to make sure you're not going to damage anything. They want to know who's going to show up, that nobody's got face tattoos and going to rob them blind. It's so funny. It's like, I'm so worried about my neighborhood and all of that kind of stuff. Who's walking in my street, my HOA, all very, very involved. And yeah, I called the $10 per room carpet cleaning guy I saw down by the grocery store, the sign on the phone post, right? Customers are dumb. Teach them why that's a bad strategy in our marketing, in our authority building, right? Things like that. So goals and desires, got that list there, right? So you want to make sure that safe, eco-friendly is messaging that has worked for eons now, right? You don't want to be the guy that is leaving a toxic chemical smell behind and high VOCs, right? You want 100% satisfaction? That means your competitors offer 90%? No, like 100% satisfaction, or it's free. You want to turn that into a risk reversal guarantee that is so strong. Hey, if you're not happy with us, we'll come back and re-clean it all for free and bring you a gift. If you're still not happy, not only will we give you all your money back, but if you find anybody else to get it cleaner, we'll pay their bill for you. That was my guarantee. That wasn't just something I just made up. That's what we ran with. That's what the guy that bought the business is running with, right? Why? Because people go, holy shit, if you're that confident, why wouldn't I hire you? And you're probably a little bit more expensive than everybody else. I get that, but that's what I want. The best customers want the best cleaning, period. What does best mean? You need to teach them that. Highly trained technicians, trustworthy. You make more money, you can hire the better guys, right? If you got technicians that are making 60, 70, 80, 90,000 a year, 100,000 a year. One of our guys, I don't know if you're on the call, Jorge, $135,000 a year for your technicians. That's insane. Well done, right? Great pricing, great market. Like, this isn't somebody in a fancy marketplace like Florida, Central Florida. Like, come on. Anyways, you want to make sure phones are answered live during business hours. You're not AIing this, right? People are pushing back a bit against AI. You want to have the human touch. We'll talk about that in a quick second as well. Honest pricing, no sales gimmicks. You want to make sure that you're not bait and switching. We all know that. You want to be able to explain to people why your prices are higher than the competition and what to watch out for if they're going to call around somebody else, right? So you want to have that messaging and you want to be able to explain that, and you want to have pages on your website that talk about that, and you want to have content that talks about that. Right? So speak to your ideal customer, telling them the reasons why they're going to love you and all kinds of good content, on the website. You want to build authority. Are you telling your own personal story? Like Brent here, right? Are you talking about the years in business and the family since 1972 and dad? And is that in your videos? Have you told that story out in the marketplace? Do you jumped on our podcast and told that story, and we'll help you share it into your whole entire marketplace and we'll share it to the world? Like, are you real and authentic? Do you show up at the Chamber of Commerce? Do you meet all the other business owners in town? Are you just a real person that people, shucks, right? Can you tell that story on your website as well? Right? Are you leveraging video? We talked about that on every single page. And multimedia, are you taking every opportunity to hop on, get invited on TV, on shows, be the expert in the local marketplace? I was a shy kid and I did this, right? Shy, painfully shy, like socially awkward shy, right? So if I can, anybody can. Read Tony Robbins, Awake the Giant Within. It's a good start. Are you leveraging social proof everywhere? Like all of our client websites have the pop-ups that link right to Google, Yelp, Facebook, all the most recent 25 reviews. It also teaches the algorithm that you're getting new content, like you're streaming, things like that. And then you're also going to be telling happy customer stories. You want to leverage social proof. You want to talk about very happy customers. You're going to be creating more and more content. We're going to talk about why this is really important, but you're also putting it on your social media. You're also putting it on your Google Maps. You're also putting it out on TikTok. You're also putting it on Twitter or X, all of those kinds of things. And you're creating a buzz around you. And you're letting people go, oh God, these guys are really good. Everywhere I go, I see stuff about them, right? You want to use promotions that match the services they are interested in, not discounts and deals, upsells, add-ons for the same price, VIP rewards, things like that, right? There's a way to think through that, right? So you want to be able to do that. You want to make sure it's mobile first. 4.8 billion people now use mobile phones. 3 out of 5 customers search for local businesses on their smartphone first, might go back to the laptop or the computer for that connection and when they're about to make a final decision and things like that. But a lot of people just transact on their phone now. They're $1,000 machine in their pocket, right? Minimum 1,000 these days, right? So Guru reports that 40% of mobile consumers turn to a competitor site after a bad experience on yours. So you want to make sure it makes sense. You want to make sure that everything is click to call, right? When any number they see on the screen, any button, they click it and it can call. So on their desktop, that makes it a little awkward unless they've got WhatsApp or something that will take over and make that phone call like I can do with a microphone here and stuff like that. But again, most people are on the mobile phone. They just want to click and call, right? And you want to also have the chat available. We'll talk about that. You want to have the fundamentals in the right order. A little bit of examples of this. Above the fold, done well. You want to build trust that both humans and AI can see. So what can both humans and AI see? Authentic authority signals. AI, think of it as an eager assistant that goes, oh, you want me to find you a carpet cleaner? When somebody goes, hey, what's the best carpet cleaning company in, San Antonio, Texas? Oh, you want me to go find a carpet? Yeah, I'm not just that you used to be, you might be typing in Google, but Gemini is an AI search engine. ChatGPT, people are using that all day long, right? We're in a new world now where conversations are up. Search is actually going up. More people are searching now than ever before, says Google, because AI is making it easier to get an answer. Downside is Google's also noticing they're losing clicks. So they can't charge you, clicks to websites, clicks to stuff. So they're losing revenue because clicks are down while search is up. Sounds like a bit of a dichotomy there, but there's a way to deal with this, right? So you want to make sure that you're promoting all your authority signals. You want consistent and transparent messaging. You don't want exaggerated claims, right? But you want to be clear and consistent on the side of your van, on your door hangers, on your yard signs, on your website, on your landing pages. You want to tie the whole thing together. AI picks up on that consistency. You want to make sure it's embedded in your schema, your structured data, your FAQs. Most of the sites I look at do not have this set up well. And that's what AI is looking at on your website, is it's looking at the code, because that's what it does. It's a code reader, right? It's looking at the code. It's looking at stuff. It's looking around on social media. It's looking around on mentions. It knows if you've got a negative review on Yelp because it's checking everywhere as if it's a friend or like an eager sidekick. So it's no longer keyword searches, right? Real human proof. Share real team photos, behind the scene content. Share testimonials, not just reviews. Stop chasing and hounding for reviews. Reviews will come when you do the actual reputation part right. Go back and look at last month's training. You want to have case studies. You want to have project stories all the time. This feeds AI with data. This feeds social with data. This feeds your marketplace with data. Everybody starts to know, like, and trust you. ZMOT, zero moment of truth. You're connecting all of those dots and you're creating that high converting brand presence. Again, there's your brand, right? AI readable trust markers. So again, the structured data, you want to make sure that your site is fast loading, secure. Trust must be visible to people and machine readable to AI. Is yours. Do you need a diagnosis? Reach out to us if you do, right? Offer AI assisted chat to text. So less than 5% of website clicks, visitors actually do anything when they come to your website. If you go check your stats, 95% of all the traffic to your website goes away without doing anything. Have you figured this, what to do about that, right? But what we do know, really good chance they are interested in the services you offer and they're likely in your service area. That should be where your website shows up mostly, right? Shouldn't show up in areas you don't service. Your SEO company like us might be really good and you might, you can't trim it. If it's organic, you can tighten paid ads. You might show up a little bit wider and have to explain on your website, hey, we serve these 2 counties. Damn, I'm a county away, right? But that's rare. Most people that are on your website, that come to your website, have an intent. They just might not choose you. 95% of them are just making research, thinking, right? Something that they didn't see they're looking for, right? So how are you capturing them? Do you have a chat form? Do you have something that pops up? Do you need a hand with something? Do you have a calculator to figure out estimates? Not a quote. Can you justify your pricing if your average job is $550 and the competitor's average of the same work is $225? Can you justify why you're more? You should be able to. You definitely should not be the cheapest guy. You should not be commoditized at all, but you should be able to figure out, can you give them an estimate range and in that process be able to explain the differences in price versus value versus job? How dirty is the carpet? Like, you ask a lot of questions. You can teach AI how to do some of that as well. You should have real people, but you can start with an AI that has a conversation that is able to hand off to human at any moment. And that's an option. And any time you want to talk to a real human, during business hours, it should know if it's during business hours or not. It should know what time of day it is. But, if you want to talk to a real human, I'm here to give you some information and give you a hand at any moment. You can talk to a real human, or you can give me your phone number and I'll have them call you back right away, blah, 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 things like that. There's a way to train these things really, really well, right? And then you want, how are you chasing these people? What if they came to your website and left? Are you using that advanced data where we now know who they are and putting a postcard in their mailbox? That's neat. Maybe a postcard in their mailbox if they're only in these certain zip codes. So you know who everybody is, and the ones that are in the right zip code get a postcard in their mailbox. They get an email. Like, there is ways to use enhanced data that's amazing, right? So where does that, oh my God, John, that's a lot of marketing. Where does that money come from? 20% of revenue goes towards marketing. About 30% stays offline, about 70% goes online. You start with the basics, you work your way up the ladder, you eventually get to this. As your business grows, you're now ready to be even more enhanced. There is a right time and a place for everything. That's what you need to think about. So chat is proven to increase leads by an average of 35%. Inquiries. So Marcus Sheridan, he wrote the book They Ask You Answer. Really good story about his family pool business that almost went bankrupt, and how not only did he save it by actually writing content that people were asking questions for and giving them the right. And they only had one product to sell, a vinyl pool lined, like pool insert, not cement. They don't custom build. You bought one of their vinyl ones. Why would that be of importance to some people, not to others? And how would you make those decisions? All of those questions, he started writing content to answer. That was his claim to fame, right? And They Ask You Answer was the book he wrote on that. Really good. He is now one of the world's best speakers, presenters, strategists, thought pioneers. Love Marcus to death. Met him in person a couple times now. Brilliant guy, right? He's talking about the self-serve mega trend. What that means is, you don't want to commoditize your business. On the other side of it, you don't want to, self-serve doesn't mean, oh, lowest price wins, let them buy, let them shop, let them book their own jobs, all that kind of stuff. Hopefully they'll figure out I'm good or why I'm priced that high. No. You want to be able to give them what they want, but in a way that you can control and manage. There's psychology to this. There's strategy to this, right? So 75% of today's buyers want to collect answers and info before they talk to somebody. That's why everybody's leaning into AI and chat GPTs and Geminis, because they're actually, and more people are searching now, because they're actually not searching, they're having conversations. More and more people are looking for answers because the answers they are getting, AI is making it easier to get good answers without having to go down hours and hours and hours of websites and take notes and check back and forth and bookmark all that. No, it's a few minutes, right? So, right. But so people want those answers. AI gets them only if it exists on your or somebody else's website. And if it's somebody else's, you lost them, right? So AI bot pushback is real. People might be okay to start a conversation, might be okay to have a voice. Hey, sorry, none of our humans are available right now. I'm Amy, your AI voice assistant. Tell me what you're looking to do and I'll see if I can help you. If not, I will definitely hand you off to one of the live people here. I want to talk to a real person. Okay, thank you very much. Let me put you, let me double check if somebody's available. If not, I will pop you a quick link where you can give your information and a good time to be called back, and we'll get one of our live humans to give you a call back, right? That's a correct way to manage things like that, right? So you want to be strategic, not knee-jerk. I've seen too many people in this industry. Oh, I just want AI to answer and book my jobs and stuff like that. So yeah, go figure that out. It's way more training involved in that and way more strategy involved in that, right? So AI versus human, what really converts? AI-powered conversion tools predict the visitor's intent, personalize the content where possible, offers, follow-ups, chases, call to actions, automate all of that stuff with chatbots and emails. AI works really good on that. Human part of it, authentic stories, show and tell real stories of real people, real faces, real teams, right? Empathy in customer service, address their fears and frustrations in your scripts. Use AI to write a better script and get help with that, but use the script and say the right words, right? Educate your audience over and over and over and over again, right? You want to be sharing stuff well, right? So again, you might have social media out there. You could be posting to your social media every day. Understand that just because you have 1,000 followers, 2,000 followers, 500 followers, 5,000 followers, and you're posting to your social media business page, nobody's seeing that. You still got to promote it, bump it out, all that, because Facebook and social media has completely devalued EdgeRank for businesses. It's people. So be real. Be real people. Share stuff out. Share happy customer stories into Facebook groups and things like that as well. Like you want to do all that. Share so that you're addressing their fears and frustrations and how you guys solve them. Social proof. Market your testimonials. Market your feedback. Syndicate. Dynamically syndicate your reviews. Don't leave them sitting on one spot. It is great that you have 2,532 reviews on your Google. And maybe you also have the second part of that where you're getting 10 to 20 a month. If the last time you had a review was 6 months ago, you're dead in the water. Even a month ago, you're dead in the water. You should be getting reviews regularly, but understand nobody's seeing those reviews that don't make it to Google. Nobody's seeing those reviews that don't make it to Yelp. If you got them there, you should. Nobody's seeing those recommendations if they didn't make it to social media. People aren't shopping you that hard. AI's looking around and seeing all of these things and wants to see them in more than one place. Google wants to know that you've got, a great digital footprint, but you want to make sure that you're marketing them everywhere in everything you do. Your website, your emails, your monthly newsletter, print and digital, and you want to make sure that all of that is there. You want to engineer social shout outs, right? Can you give your clients an incentive to share a picture that you just took of a before and after, a picture of the final part of the job, happy client, giving them a free bottle of spotter, whatever. Can you incentivize them to shout you out on social? There's some social proof there, right? You can do it for a contest even if you want, right? Are you refining your referral programs so that your strategic referrals, businesses, one-to-many, and individual referrals is working? Are you getting 3%, 7%, 10%? Can you get it up to 12%, 15% of people refer you? It's not going to be 100. It's not going to be 50. But do you know the numbers? And are you doing? It's worth doing if you know that your average lifetime value of a new contact, a new customer that you turn into a client is $10,000, $20,000. It's totally worth doing. If you don't care about the lifetime value and you're trying to think that you're in a transactional business, you'll be out of business in a couple of years anyway. So it's not a big deal. So you want to create all that local brand buzz. There's where your brand comes back in again. Everybody should know you as the authority and the brand as who they should choose. So the winning formula is AI and human. It's not versus, it's and. AI drives efficiency, personalization, and speed. Humans bring authenticity, trust, and emotional connection. Together, more inquiries, higher conversions, stronger loyalty. So becomes part of this is the difference between lead generation and lead nurture, right? As well. If we only think of lead generation, that's the whole, I can do $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 a month in Facebook ads until it stops working, until a competitor shows up, or until my account gets hacked or shut down, and now I'm out of business and I'm broke because I didn't build a customer base, I didn't build a business, I didn't build referral partners, I didn't build anything, I didn't build a retention machine, I didn't build packages, I didn't build upsells, I didn't deliver a client experience. I just got leads. Not the way to run a business. So calls not answered live and inquiries that are not followed up within, I would even take that down from 5 minutes now to 1 minute. Like text messages and emails, instant, right? They go cold or they go to the competitors, what that means. The average customer must be followed up with 5 to 7 times before they will book. Some people book right away. Other ones need to be chased. That's called the chase. And then if they don't book, you put them in long-term nurture and you continue to chase them, right? So you want to make sure you're following up with the right message. Happy customer stories, meet the team, like my founder's story, my compelling art, why you should choose us over anybody else. Why do we offer the guarantee that we do? Like there are some pretty cool things you can follow up with people pretty easily over like a 14-day period where some of it's a voicemail, some of it's an email, some of it's a text message, just checking in, a quick short burst. You want to be light on text messages because anybody can type stop and you'll never be able to talk to them ever again. So you want to make sure it's transactional and very light. A lot of people try text message marketing, go, oh my God, that was amazing. Let me do that again. Talk to me after you've done it 5 times and tell me what you still think, right? It is amazing the first time. Just talk to me after you've done it 5 times and you'll understand it needs to be strategic. Today's consumers now prefer to interact with text and chat versus phone. So are all of your text and chat sources coming into one spot where it's easy to manage? Or do you have to jump over to WhatsApp and Messenger and DMs on Instagram and right? It should all be in one hub, right? We call that one hub Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro. We built it started 6 years ago. Leveraging automation. We're starting to add in a lot of AI and enhancements. So our customers can, add new features on, and into the tools. Some of those have money because you got to run AI engines. Like you might use ChatGPT for free. Well, we've used ChatGPT for $200 a month. Holy crap, John, why? Because we use the full program. The free is cut off and stuff like that. Same with proper AI. You're actually in the back end of the OpenAI playground, Anthropic playground. Like you're in the actual AI tools, Grok playground. You're building agentic systems. That's what these all are. And every call to the database costs. Every answer costs somebody. So they do offer free stuff. Nothing in our world is free. If it's free, you're the product. Just know that, right? So they're borrowing your questions to teach the agent, or you can't turn off or turn on privacy and turn off memory and turn off all of that on the free systems, right? So anyways, you want to be able to get back to me. You want to automate follow-up so that every prospect is touched 5, 6, 7, 8 times, and engaging in a two-way process, right? You want to build a lead list, an inquiry list that you can continue to market to. And you want that to be 10 times bigger than your customer list. We have lots of trainings on this that go deep into this whole thing, but you definitely want to have, the 3 databases that you need, that you are required 3 databases that are required to run a legitimate home service business. And I talk to dudes all the time and girls that don't even have a customer list, or it's on my phone. You're not running a business, right? You got nothing to sell. The thing that you're building is your database of happy customers that you can stay in touch with every single month, every single week. That's your job. So you need to have a list of ideal customers that have come through your business so that you can get them back again, because they will not come back on their own. Not very many of them. Go check your database, go check your numbers. Even if you're the most amazing person, you're still below anybody else's numbers who markets their database and you don't. They're still way more profitable than you from their database. And your database is where all your money lives. You spend money to acquire new customers, you turn them into clients, and you spend a lot less every single time they show back up. But you still have to spend something. You still have to invest in the marketing, but a lot less. So you put a lot on the front end. He who can spend the most to acquire a new client, a new repeat client, wins, right? So you figure out ways to do that. Spend more to get people. That is your goal, right? So you better sell at higher prices. So it's still only 3-to-1, 4-to-1, 5-to-1 ROI on the front end, 20-to-1 ROI in the back end, right? So you want to build that lead list, or the list of customers. You want to build a list of interested prospects who haven't bought yet. And that one's got to be 10 times bigger than your customers. And you want to build your entire list of referral partners and potential referral partners. That's kind of a blended, both of your referral partner list. So what does marketing automation look like? Well, it looks like this. Lots of stuff happening from one little trigger. Lots of nuance. Did they talk about this? Let's go down this path. Did they talk about this? Are they interested in this? Let's go show them this. Did they buy this? Let's go show them the stuff they didn't buy. Oh, you got carpet cleaning. I noticed you didn't take us up on our upholstery cleaning. We have, a bounce back VIP special if you come back to us within 30 days of your last cleaning to get upholstery as well. How do we know that? Because the database has the information. You're using House Call Pros, you're using Service Monster, you're using something like that. You're tied to Carpet Cleaner Lead Pro, and the messaging is going out that's very smartly routed, because now AI can be embedded into some of this stuff. So you're creating a thoughtful process, right? So we talked about conversion math. This is just another example of when you're chasing people. Now this is the other side of it, where again, 164 inquiries came in. So this isn't just traffic to your website and how many became inquiries. Say we up that number, and we're still at this 30% person who doesn't know how to sell yet. They still made 15 grand from the inquiries that came in from all of those sources. Now they add in an engine and an AI and a smart process, and now they book at 70% over the next, chasing people the next 2 weeks, the next 2 months, maybe even a year from now. Some people go, you know what? I didn't like the guy I had last time, but these guys have stayed in touch. And oh my God, they have a lot of happy customers. And I keep seeing all their happy customer stories. And I do like the fact that, I know who he is, who his wife is, who his kids are, who his dog is. He's part of the community. He's at all the charity stuff. I know that because of his outreach to me. He's stayed in touch. Let me hire him. Now, those original 164 now book at 70%. So now you end up with 114 jobs, not 50, 49. You end up with $37,000, almost $40,000, not $15,000, right? So there's another 3X. So we 3X'd you How many people showed up at your website that actually reach out to you? So that becomes this top number here. We already 3x that with good conversions. Now we add conversions to the follow-up process and we 3x'd it again, right? That's not 6x. That's almost 10x. Three times 3 is 9. Like that's almost 10x your business. If you average $5,000 from website traffic right now, and you can 10x it with these two principles, you've got a path to $50,000 coming from that. That's how we grow. That's not going to be overnight, but that's going to be over the next 6 months, a year, right? You're going to build up these muscles, build up these machines, build up these tools, build up these scripts. And that's where your growth comes from. It's not magic. It's just marketing. So real authentic images, add video elements everywhere you can, showcase your online reviews prominently and your testimonials and your feedback and your happy customer stories. Get the basics in the right order, put your calls to action properly, leverage offers strategically, right? Use AI-powered two-way chat and AI-powered automations to follow up, right? Is your website optimized to convert? Ask yourself that question. So the new role of your website in AI marketing. So you're saying, John, less clicks, less people coming to my website. Why do I need to even do this? Right? Because a couple of reasons. AI is learning from everything on your website. The weird dichotomy is to compete in today's day and age, you need more pages for the less traffic that you're getting. Because you need to teach and feed AI more content, nuanced content, happy customer stories. Every carpet cleaning page should have 10, 15 pages supporting it. It's called topical authority clusters. We build at least 1 page a week for our clients on our basic program and 5 pages a week on our more advanced programs, right? A week. Press releases, creating signals out in the marketplace, coming back to you. You need way more content everywhere. To teach AI that you're the best. You need people screaming your praises as well. All of this stuff, right? So you need all of that kind of stuff. So it's a different world that we're in. Brand is way more important than it's ever been before, because if somebody goes to AI and has a conversation, because we're all having conversations now, and AI comes back and says, well, you've got a couple of options for the best carpet cleaner in town and blah, blah, blah. Oh, I've heard of those guys. Call them. Give me their number. Ring that phone, right? How much do they charge? We got a way to figure that out. Oh, they've got an estimator on their website. Let's go through that. And again, that estimator should be strategic, should be very psychologically compelling, not just a price. Shouldn't be the House Call Pros widget, just so you know. So takeaways. Any takeaways? Implementation is everything. Most businesses fail, not because they don't have enough ideas. You listen to these calls, you got more than enough of ideas. Everybody that I talk to says, John, it's like drinking from a fire hydrant listening to you. Yep. And then you take notes and then you dumb it down and you learn how to implement one step at a time, right? The rule of 3 is what I always like to go by. That's how I did it. My business was broken into 3. Again, I learned this. I didn't know this. Before the sale, during the sale, after the sale. A client acquisition, client service delivery, client retention business. 3 separate businesses. And I was always working on one major strategy for each area of the business at any given time, 3 at a time. Right? One for before, one for during, one for after. What am I enhancing? What am I upgrading? What am I adding? And I had a rotation, and I would just around and around. And over this year, my business looks strategically different than last year. 2 years from now, my business looks strategically different than this year. As the environment changes, the economy changes, I'm willing to adapt and change because I've got my systems in place. We're getting better and better and better. We're sharpening the saw, right? So marketing is not a side activity. It is the business that you're in. You need to take immediate action. The best businesses are not the best operators. They are the best marketers who need to refine operations. You market well enough, you create operations problems because you're growing too fast. And then you solve the operations problems and you get into the data. You understand how to look at Google Sheets and like spreadsheets and data and nuance it, right? So now you're into like finances and data. Now you're learning the executive level stuff because you worked your way up. There's a process. There is an exact map for this. So what are the top 3 things you're going to take away from this? Write them down, right? Pick 3 things that you're going to do in the next 30 days. Start them today, tonight. What's your very first action? You go do that. Is it find something, do something, look at something, call somebody, reach out to somebody, do something. What is your first action? And what you immediately write down what the very next thing you're going to do when you come back to this is, and you schedule a time to come back to it. Take one immediate action right now, schedule what the very next thing you're going to do. So the future version of you goes, oh, thank you, past version of me. I know what to do when I start this. You don't have that mud in your brain, a couple days from now or whatever, what to do next. You wrote it down. And that's one of the ways, again, it's little tricks to learn how to move forward. We have a whole training called Implementation is Everything, all about this. I learned it. I started coaching it, right? So if you need any help with any of this, including some of that stuff we just talked about coaching and business growth and acquiring almost all of our very best clients have acquired other companies, other cleaners in their area as well. There's a huge market for that growth by acquisition in the middle of all this. You get your marketing right, take over somebody else who sells you for the price of their truck mount, and you really only cared about their database and their name recognition. You do a good marketing push into that. You've now just doubled your database. You've doubled your business if done well, because most of your jobs should be coming from repeat referrals. You've just gotten into somebody else's home that you wouldn't have because they already locked them down, put a fence around them and said, mine, I do a good enough job. I do things well enough that customer is going to use me for life. Cool. Let me buy them from you. You're retiring. You want to sell. You want to go do something else. Sure. And for a couple $1,000s, $200,000, depending on the size of it, you've picked up millions of dollars of lifetime value. Done well. We actually help consult with that as well. So anyways, if you're looking at any of this, we have our program called the Best Known Cleaner. We've got our AI Essentials, AI Enhanced, and AI Elite for different levels of business and different amounts of services and stuff like that. Again, fits into that 20%. 70% goes towards online, 30% goes towards offline, roughly. 70, 30, 60, 40. Every business is just slightly nuanced differently. We do a consult on that as well. And yeah, it's all about tying your website to your search everywhere optimization, AI, social media, how to actually do that right, what it's for, and how you get the most value out of it. One little thing on that: when's the last time you ran a contest for a whole home of cleaning or a charity drive? You're not being social. Paid ads done properly. There's a hierarchy. You start with the first tier and you work your way up. And paid ads should generate about a 3-to-1 to about a maximum 5-to-1 ROI. But 3-to-1 is good enough because if you're targeting the right people, you're spending a lot of money. You should. Buying a new customer from pay-per-click should be about $100. If your average job is $300 to $400 or $500, there's your 3-to-1 to 5-to-1 ROI. That's great. Why do I spend $100 on a new customer? Because the lifetime value is $10,000, $20,000. Is it okay to spend $100 to get $10,000 or $20,000 and lock them in for life? Absolutely. Paid ads has a hierarchy and a strategy that fits into everything else. It just fits into a flow. It's all part of the same thing. Google Maps, how you rank, how you show up, how wide, for how many services. That's all a function of how much content's on your website, your schema, how your Google Maps is optimized, and how many images you're uploading, authenticity. Lots of things. It's a dance between what you do, what an agency can help with, stuff like that. Google Maps is a game all in its own, but it helps based on your website, your organic, your social, all of it helps. And then reputation. You want to build your reputation and you want to tie it all together with some sort of CRM, some sort of a lead management, lead chasing CRM. I don't believe that any of the house call pros, service monsters of the world have that dialed in well, because they're pulling different things in, but they're not a marketing first management system. They understand how to build, databases that connect with QuickBooks and all this. Marketing is entirely different, and you need to create a lot of subtlety in there. So I believe that there's a game where the two get connected much better. So anyways, the whole thing is a blueprint. There's an exact science to growing $1 million cleaning business. 0.003% of all small businesses, or all businesses, 0.003% of businesses ever make it to $1 million. So I can pat myself on the back. Yay, we did it, right? My cleaning businesses, town of 30,000 people, well over $1 million, right? Run rate at our peak. So before I started breaking up and selling things off. And so 99.97% of businesses don't get there because they've never figured out the order of operations and the strategy and the science behind it all. Once they do, though, once a business hits $1 million, the fact that it's like the staggering the number of businesses that hit 10 million, 5 to 10 million. It's in the 30 to 40% range. Why? Because they figured stuff out that then is easy to now duplicate, replicate, buy the local maid service, buy the pressure washing guy out, expand, go town over, do this. We can now grow because we've figured this machine out. The hardest part is figuring it out. There's the answer right there. It's already been figured out for you. Do you know it? You want to learn it? Reach out to us. carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. Let's have a conversation. This isn't a sales pitch. We consult. We do a deep dive. It's about $1,000 value because we actually get information from you, do a competitive analysis, do a whole bunch of research, hop on a call, see what you're looking to do. You consult with me directly. We have that conversation. We set up the plan that you can implement on your own. If you need us to help you with some of it, we've got those tools. We've got the systems. We understand how to do it all for the cleaning industry. If you've got any friends in the cleaning industry that you think needs to know any of this information, should be jumping on the podcast, should be watching the videos, should be reaching out to us, put them in touch with us as well. That would be helpful. Our industry needs to upgrade before it implodes anyways. So let's get this all figured out. But carpetcleanermarketingmasters.com/schedule. Now you understand why conversion is the most important thing, even if your traffic to your website is down, and AI has changed everything. How people interact, how people now ask questions, not keywords, how your website needs to be way more content heavy, way more nuanced, way more authentic, way more personal, way more converty, how your back end and your AI usage of that and chatting and texting and all that stuff needs to be way, way more strategic. And you could spend all of your time figuring that out and not actually doing your job as a business owner, which is out being authentic and meeting real people and making real connections. Or you could talk to somebody, hire somebody who knows how to do all of that and get that put in place and start working your way up that ladder so that it's a done together sort of approach. So anyways, that makes sense. I think we covered a lot today, and I'm going to let you guys go. 90 minutes, so not bad. And thanks so much for hopping on this call, and we shall see you next time.